Okay. So we are live stream, and so since we don't officially have a chair, I'll open the meeting and we'll do the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So it is 6:30 and it's open the town meeting, the town council meeting. And the first item is for new business, and I would like to entertain a motion to nominate a counselor to be representative of the town council chair for the FYI fiscal year 24-25.
I would make a motion to nominate Mark Fitch. I second that. Yes, we never ask you.
I need to learn to talk quicker than Dwayne.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
But
all yours.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Poor Mark.
So I guess we jump down to more new business,
Yeah.
right? We're in the new business section, so we'll continue in that section. Any new business from you, Missy?
I just gave you a copy of a motion. I needed to have a motion to approve the treasurer's disbursement for employee wages, benefits, and payments for state of Maine fees. And I presented that, I gave you a copy of that policy in your boxes. It's a policy that you, as a council, approve each year that allows us to process payroll warrants. If we don't have a meeting, if we have one council signature, allows us to process those. And also allows us to send state money into the state without council approval.
So moved. Seconded.
Motion's been moved and seconded on the policy on treasurer disbursement warrants. Any other questions on that? Just one for me, like you said, if it's an off cycle for meetings, and you need one signature. I think during COVID, we were doing maybe some virtual signatures. Is that still an option as well?
Yeah, we can absolutely do that, yeah, but
Just in
typically
case.
now it's because we don't have a quorum or we don't have a meeting or something, but yeah.
Any other questions on that motion? If not, we'll vote. Jim?
Aye.
Dwayne?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Mark and I? And we all need to sign this one?
Yes, please.
Any other new business?
I don't have any other new business.
There was something, I don't know if this is new business or not, there was something in the box or on the table here about,
I'm gonna talk about that in my manager.
okay.
Yeah.
good. Are you also gonna talk about the, water main breakage in your manager's report?
Know anything about that?
Oh.
So, no.
Okay, I just, yeah, I saw, I think there was, did the notice come up, Town Bradley? I thought it came up from the town.
Well, the water district called us and said that they had notice of a water break
Yeah,
and they were gonna be working on it. I think it was Friday, correct? Was it
yeah. it
Friday,
was last week.
Friday at 10 o'clock, and that's the only notice I ever received, so.
It was strange. I drove by like the water was bubbling out of the ground. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
here? But they still have like metal plates where they did some work and they had some paint on the road. I didn't know if that was
Yeah.
gonna,
I don't know, I'm
Okay.
assuming they'll come back and, I know that they'll come back and fill it in.
just didn't know if it was gonna, you had to put in on the note, I think that, you know, there was gonna be water outage for a little
Yeah.
bit from Point Street. I'm sure maybe it'll happen again once they go in and put in.
I don't know for sure, but typically they just put that on when they get, until they come back to pave over it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Did they dig into the road surface?
yeah.
Yes,
They called me. I called them Thursday night.
Oh, because they noticed it on Thursday night.
Yep. And they cut the water back, the pressure back, and said if we had a fire, just to give them a call, and they come within a minute, turn it back up, so.
but people didn't lose the water during that time. It doesn't sound like this is.
No, they kept the water.
Any other new business? If not, I'll make a motion to accept the June 16, 2024 town council minutes as presented.
A second.
Motion has been made and seconded from the minutes from the last meeting. Any questions, comments, or corrections on those? If not, we'll vote. Jim?
Aye.
Dwayne?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Larry, I don't think you were, okay, Mark's out. Citizens requests? No citizens requests, manager's report.
Okay, just to let you know, today, this morning I filed at the Penobscot Registry of Deeds the, tax liens for the outstanding 23 real estate. So that was done today, and there were 38 accounts that were affected. That's typically the general amount that we have. Those will become foreclosable, automatically foreclosable in 2026. So they have 18 months to pay. I just wanted to make a note of the letter that we received from the Maine Department of Labor in regards to the recent visit by the department to the fire station. And as the letter indicates, the fire department complies with all the required standards. So thank you very much, Chief Gifford and his officers. And the end of the year fiscal period close was on Friday, and that went really well. I was done with that about 3:45 and we had no issues, so I was thankful for that. And I did also contact Mark Gibson, and I'm in hopes that by the next meeting, which is July 16th, we will be able to have all the information to do our tax commitment for 25-26. So
So we'll be setting that no rate next meeting.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The Mark had referenced a paper that I had given him, and I gave you a copy of the letter that I wrote. It's in regards to 43 Highland Avenue. So I spoke with the prior owner. I've been speaking to him for the last couple of weeks, and I spoke with him last week, and he does not have the ability to pay the taxes to redeem the property. So he has requested an opportunity to enter the property to remove his personal belongings. And I spoke with the municipal attorney, and he provided us guidance that Maine statute requires that a letter be sent to the prior owner certified mail, providing them with 21 days to remove the items. So I talked to Mr. Coulter today and told him of the impending letter, and that he's required to sign for it before I can give him a key. So you may remember in January, I had a temporary lock placed on the property. And Mr. Coulter has wanted to go into the property, but I wouldn't allow entrance until I knew what was going on. So just kind of want to let you know where we are. So once he signs for that letter, I'll give him the key, and he will have 21 days to remove his property. So once that's done, then the town council really needs to try to have some discussions on what we think we're going to do. We had talked about going up and looking at the property and looking at the land. I have been up there a couple times. It will be interesting to see what he removes from the property. Inside the home is, it's not in great shape. There's trash all over the floor, and I didn't go in. I don't want to go in because it looks like it's just forgotten trash. So I don't know what else is in there. But he hopefully will help remove some of that. I have walked the property a little bit. It doesn't seem to be wet to me, but it would just be something we need to kind of think about. Our options will be, we can keep the property for municipal use. And if that's the case, we'll have to have it appraised, and we will have to provide the excess funds to Mr. Coulter. That would be all expenses that we've incurred thus far, including the taxes and taxes that will be committed for this year, which is about, I estimate to be about $7,000. And in addition, any expenses that we accrue up until then. We could also sell the property, and if that's the case, we are required by law now to hire a real estate agent to do that process. And again, if there's any excess funds, those would be returned to Mr. Coulter. So I kind of had that conversation with him, that it's important to him to let me know where he is and what's going on. So if there are funds available, he could get those.
We've got that on our insurance tab now.
That is on our insurance. I put that on in February, actually, January, February. Yep. So that letter that I presented to you is the notice that he has 21 days to get his property needs to be approved and signed by the town council.
You need a motion?
Yeah, sure.
So moved. Second.
So the motion's been made and seconded to provide a notice to remove personal property for the 43 Highland Ave location. Any questions on that? Comments? If not, we'll vote. Jim?
Aye.
Dwayne? Charlie?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Mark and I.
And that's really all I have for my manager's report.
Any questions on the manager's report? One for me, so the foreclosure notifications, those are properties that are in arrears for
2023.
so that's 2023.
Yeah. Last year's tax.
Oh, just last year.
Yep. Those by law were required to send a 30-day notice within a year of tax commitment, which was last July. And then after that 30-day notice, we have to, if it remains unpaid, then we file a lien at the registry of deeds office. And then in 18 months, those automatically foreclose if payment isn't made.
You were saying the 38 is about.
That is average, yeah.
Melissa, I hate to go backwards, but with regard to 43 Highland, can you tell me how big that lot is?
It is, I think 1.4.
Okay.
I walked it really quickly, I didn't have any socks on. I had boots, but no socks, so it was a little.
It's relatively flat though, right?
It is flat, but I was kind of worried about ticks, you know, I really wasn't prepared for my adventure.
Yeah.
But, it's about 1.47 acres, I didn't see any pins, but I didn't look too hardly either. I mean, it'd be something that we really need to kind of investigate
Yeah.
a little bit further.
Missy, in regards to that, if we acquired it or want to acquire it, which we already have acquired it, but. Say, for instance, we deem that the structure is not worth saving, so we take that down.
Yeah,
Is that part of the expense that we can take from whatever the value of it would be?
I am not 100% sure. I sent an inquiry to our attorney about that. And his response is that we would have to get an appraisal. And that the appraisal would be low because of the way that the condition of the property. And then he stated something about he would have to do a further investigation depending on what town council would, but it going down the road of the dangerous building thing again. So,
Or we didn't want to spend insurance money on something that we,
well, right, I put in, I'm required by our insurance to add it to it because it's there. But yeah, it's the discussion that we're gonna have to have this summer to figure out what we're gonna do.
Kind of, we, again, it's down the road a ways, but we talked about potentially a spot for a new cemetery, but I think we would have to look at, 1.4 acres or whatever it was, doesn't seem that big. But looking at some of our other cemeteries, they're not that big either.
Yeah, I mean, Knapp Cemetery on Main Street, that's gonna be less than that.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
think so too.
So,
It'd be interesting to, to, I guess, find out about the regulations. If we had that plot, 1.4 acres, how many lots
yeah,
could be?
I don't know what there is for regulations. I looked at it real briefly when we first started the conversation. I honestly wasn't able to find anything, so it's gonna need more, me to do more research, yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to find out, right? I mean, you said that the homeowner or the property owner is not gonna, doesn't have interest in paying back taxes.
I think he has the interest, he just doesn't have the ability.
Okay.
So it's just, originally he'd have a I talked to him, I'm gonna keep it up there, in fact, back in June, at the very beginning of June. And he was under the impression that he had till June 18th. And I said, well, that's not really necessarily true, but if you could give us a plan, I could send it to the council. And, I never heard from him, so I called him last week. And he said, oh, I thought I didn't have any more opportunity because I didn't respond to you by the 18th. And I said, town council has no desire to take municipal property. It's the complete opposite, but we need to have a plan. And he said, well, if that's the case, I'll see what I can come up with. And so then I talked to him again today, and he just simply said he's not able to come up with a means to pay the taxes. And now we'd be adding this year's taxes to it too, so it goes from like a $4,000 or $5,000 to a $7,000 due.
Must just be a first trial with the new rules.
It will be. I feel like I'm gonna be the guinea pig for the state of Maine, but that's probably not true. I'm sure other municipalities are dealing with it too. It just was such a simple process
They're
before.
probably out there waiting to see what you do.
Yeah, right. It was just such a simple process before, and it served it well, it served Maine well, yeah, and it served the taxpayers well, right?
And like you said, I mean, the town has no interest in taking properties, right, or owning those properties. But, and we're small, we deal with one every 3
Yeah.
years.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine municipalities there, have
Yeah.
multiple properties
Mhm.
to call a realtor on, post them,
Keep
sell.
track of all that
Keep track,
information, because, even myself, I'm trying to keep track of my time, because we can write that off as an expense, as my time spent with it, what are these larger municipalities doing?
And
Melissa, does any notice go to at least, the other residents on Highland Avenue or, in terms of what's going on with this property?
Not really, not really. I mean, I've had some inquiries, the two neighbors abutting, we're a small town, so people talk fast and, I've had open conversations with them to exactly what we talk about here in meetings, that we've talked about maybe development into cemetery if it's feasible. One of the neighbors was concerned about not being shielded, and I said, well, we would have to do something, a fence or, or wooded area, we would be respectful and mindful of that, but.
Great
Yeah.
neighbors,
Huh?
great neighbors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Did I say when I go to the cemetery, they're my favorite residents, not one of them complained.
Melissa, I wonder if there's any, contractors out there or engineers or whatever that could assess the water situation there for us.
Yeah, that's just something I think we need to look at,
Yeah.
I think we need to go up there and kind of look at it and. So the way we would do that is we'd actually hold a meeting up there. We would come up with a time and a date that you could go. And we would post that we were going there, because it's a meeting when all of you are together. And, we could just make a determination on kind of what.
it's been a long time since we've had.
We haven't had a field trip for a long time.
I just wonder if maybe it might need to be drilled or something to assess the water table.
Yeah, if we had Oscar Emerson in town.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
SW Cole does that.
Yeah, SW Cole would be a good
Yeah, they're
option.
really good,
Yeah.
Steve Cole,
Yeah,
and
Any-
all of these, things that we spend on it are deductible. We should do it.
yeah.
Anything else on the manager's report for this evening? If not, we'll jump down to unfinished business from you, Missy?
So you had asked at the last meeting that I provide you with, copies of the candidates. Other than myself for our Senate district that is interested in running for the Maine Municipal Legislative Policy Committee. And so I did that. And I didn't know if you had any council had a thought on who they would nominate. There's two positions.
Do you have a preference who you would like to?
I don't, I love all of us on there. It's bad because, I've worked with all of them. So I have great respect for anybody who gets that, our district will be well served. I am absolutely no help, I understand.
Any of the counselors have a preference for the other, well, obviously, the top candidate there, Melissa Doan, but any of the other three? Benjamin Bredmore, Andrew Hart, or Paula Scott?
I don't even know,
I don't know them.
Eric, do you know any of them?
Can you, as far as for the policy committee, can you just maybe give a like high level overview of what that that
Sure.
committee would be doing?
So what we do is, MMA legislative advocacy, presents to us all bills that will have a municipal impact. And each of the LPC, which is made up two of each Senate district, we discuss those bills and how we think it will affect municipal government. Specifically to our region, but we try to keep it Maine based. And so each of those communities, we all give something different, like Andrew is from Carmel, he's newly appointed, obviously, because of the death of Kevin, and Kevin served on the Legislative Policy Committee with me. And so the two of us kind of represented smaller municipalities, but Paula and Ben are, Paula's from Hamden and Ben is from Holden. So they have a little bit different perspective on a larger community. So we each bring something different. But we also help Maine Municipal Association, I don't think lobby is the correct word, but work with legislators to get bills passed that municipalities are struggling with. For instance, last year, though it's not a popular thing, the stabilization of taxes, we knew that we weren't gonna be able to afford that, and that was going to fall back on municipalities, that we were going to end up funding that whole thing. So we pushed for a greater homestead exemption for those 65 and older and some income requirements. We crafted a bill and had a legislator present that bill. Unfortunately, the law didn't pass, but that's, you know, kind of what Maine Municipal did. And they do that on several other different things that have a municipal impact. I would like to say this tax acquired thing would be something we would address, but I don't think it is, because I think that they hashed it out this last session, so.
I think they were lobbied rather hard by the real estate industry.
Yeah. I guess, because they're gonna get a commission, right?
Yeah.
There's no negotiating it. I mean, they just say whatever they want.
Mhm.
Has Brett Moore or Paula Scott, either one of them served on the LPC before?
So when as a vice president of Maine Municipal Association, I have to chair the LPC, and so I have done that for the last year. And so I can't serve on the committee when I am the chair. So I asked Paula to take my spot, because Ben was acting as an alternate for Carmel. Each town can have an alternate too, so if I'm unable to attend, I could name an alternate. But I asked Paula to fill in my seat for me for the remainder of my term.
So she does have some
Yeah.
experience.
Looks like all of them do, right? Benjamin has served this past term on the LPC,
Mm-hmm.
Andrew served in the LPC from 94 to 2008.
How do you feel about leaving it to the town manager's discretion?
That's fine, because I'm gonna go eeny, meeny, miny, moe. I'm gonna go old
Is
school.
there any advantage, just thinking, good question with council, is there any advantage to have another small town potential representative? With Carmel versus Holden or Hamden? I don't know if that's a consideration that we should have or not.
And the other part I thought was Carmel was in consideration of them losing the other one, that it's an honor for them to have
Mhm.
a seat on it.
Yeah.
Do we have to make a decision today? I'd say, see, the ballot isn't due
No.
August 1st.
Yes,
So if we need to talk about it in a couple of weeks.
yeah, I think
after
absolutely,
doing a little bit more research, that might be okay,
yeah,
depending on what
absolutely.
other people feel.
Yeah, I mean, we have time, so yeah, if there,
Okay, we can
people
talk
can
about
take
that next time,
We
you
all-
guys
profiles on our boxes and.
Google, I'll put them. They're all great managers.
Any other unfinished business?
I
Susan?
do not have any other.
Any unfinished business from the council? I guess I should have probably brought it up before, for new business, but was there any storm damage in town? In the last couple
The
storms?
the fire department responded to some trees.
A few trees.
Mhm.
Yep, that was it.
Good, thank you.
One right out here in front, right? Was the one right here?
Yeah. There's one on 10. Yep.
We had a couple of solid ends
You did?
Very lost power for a while.
and
You did?
quite a few docks.
Really?
We lost power for a couple hours at home.
Tim, you and I are on the line that gets fed from Beasley,
Yeah,
and it goes as far as Wilcox Drive, and then Milford goes down to Wilcox Drive. So anytime from Route 9 all the way up 178
Yeah.
to Wilcox Drive, you and I
Makes
was, well, the other day it was for like 45 minutes.
The generator come on.
Here?
Generators.
Yeah, we luckily, maybe it flickered a little bit and we lost it maybe for a few minutes and that was out. Any other unfinished business? If not, I will make a motion to accept municipal warrants that were presented this evening. Motion been made and seconded about the warrants. Any questions on those at all? If not, we'll vote. Jim?
Aye.
Dwayne?
Aye.
Charlie?
Aye.
Larry? Aye. Marks and I. Next meeting is set for July 16th.
Oh, what about citizen requests?
Oh.
Oh, online. Let me go grab it.
Thank you.
No chance. Only other Wilcox and I.
Yeah, one guy out there had an aluminum dock, probably 3 sections, I'm guessing. Probably 40 years old. And that was right at the bottom. Wow. You could just see a reflection, somebody took a picture of it from above, and
Saw that picture, I wondered,
yeah,
There's no comments on Facebook.
So the next meeting is set for July 16th. Look in the calendar. It looks like if we have a meeting on the 16th, we'll actually have a third meeting on July on the 30th. So I know sometimes we have consideration, but next
Yeah.
meeting is what we probably.
Next meeting's the fun one.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it's a fun one.
So if you can't make the 16th, please let the other counselors in the town office know. And if there's nothing on the live stream, I will make the motion to adjourn for this evening.
Second, third, fourth.
Everybody's in something. Thank you.
Thank you.
Save that for one more meeting.
The generator is so nice.
It really is.
I'll think about it.
It's on